maybe. Hello, everyone, and happy Good Friday afternoon. If you are in the Central Time Zone or to the East, congratulations. Another year, another opportunity to experience this. So today, very short video. I got a great question from my friend Clay Manley asking why I insist on calling it the Wuhan. And he raised a great question that I have failed to explain adequately. And so I wanted to mention that because I think it's an important issue that gets beyond the propaganda of the current situation. Naming something signifies things about that thing. It signifies characteristics about it. For example, if we say father or mother or husband or wife, we are labeling them and we are signifying things about who they are and what their responsibilities are that are greater than simply a collection of letters, what we might call a name or a title or a job. And when we think about titles and jobs, they convey certain important things about that individual. Now, if we say Corona, of course, some people are going to think about a beer. And the evidence that that's true is the fact that the sales of Corona beer have been destroyed. But in a serious way, when we think about Corona, that of course is a derivative of a Latin word that speaks to crown. And when we think about a crown, we think about what? Something that's majestic, exalted, it's grand, it conveys power and authority and responsibility, and something that we would bow down to, submit to, and give our respect to. This is not a good name for a lethal virus, okay? Secondly, I would say that naming a thing should be relevant. It should be a reminder about something. And Corona tells us nothing about what this thing is, where it's from, what it's capable of. Corona speaks merely to how somebody thought it looked under an electron microscope, okay? Completely irrelevant to the kinds of things that we should be concerned with. So when I call it the Wuhan, here's what I'm thinking about. Wuhan tells me where it's from, what its origin is, whether you think it leaked out of a lab, whether you think it was created by nasty multinational corporations or the communists, whether it came out of a wet market. It doesn't matter. It reminds you of where it came from. It reminds you of its origin. It reminds us of the awful destruction that this thing has caused, that it caused in the Wuhan province before it came here. We're probably talking about 80,000 people or so who lost their lives to this. So it's a lot simpler to call it the Wuhan. It's not a deception, a distraction. It doesn't get our mind off of the lethality of it. COVID-19, that means absolutely nothing. It's based on Corona, and it's a virus, and it's deadly, and it came in 2019. So for a scientist somewhere who wants to strip away everything else that matters to you and I, then this name is good. But for the rest of us, Corona means nothing, certainly nothing that's relevant to this thing. So I would encourage you, the Wuhan means something. It's a heck of a lot simpler to use this term. And after all, it's a great way for you and I to push back on the experts who have done so much to ruin so many lives using the Wuhan as an excuse. Have a good Friday.